it's interesting. The Mets, like, they're starting to put it together a little bit. They're 30-27. The Jays are 30-27. Both really high expectations. It kind of feels like a similar story. The difference is the NL East is nowhere near as top heavy as the AL East is this year. But do you see similarities in these two teams and kind of their journey to return to the playoffs?
Yeah, they're definitely two teams that are going for it, by their own standards. The Mets are going for it by a ridiculous standard like we haven't seen in a long time, with their owner spending what he's spending. I love it. Even though it is way beyond what we've seen in a while, I think it's great. Give something to chase, and the Mets are spending a ton of cash. You've got to hope that works out when you do it. But what their owner's doing, I think, is fun. It's fun when you have an owner who's clearly dedicated to winning some games and not exactly looking at a bottom-line margin, because no fan cares about that, nor should they. And the Blue Jays have equally high expectations. For either team, even making the playoffs, who cares? You've got to do more than that, and both of them have had some ups and downs. The Mets have always seemed to battle health issues. The Mets and the Yankees, I don't know what goes on in New York, but injuries have always been a thing. And you're seeing both play a little better lately, but again, not quite to expectations.
I saw the Jays tweet out earlier this afternoon that Kevin Gausman is the only pitcher in franchise history to reach 100 strikeouts within his first 12 starts, which I was fascinated by, with Steve and Clemens and Halladay. Like Roger Clemens in particular in the late 90s, back-to-back Cy Youngs. I was shocked he didn't have 100 Ks in his first 12 starts. But it speaks to how dominant Gausman's been. Bichette has been playing the role of that in terms of the bat. Let me pose a question to you, Keegan. If you were putting money on one of these two options, which one do you think would make more sense? Kevin Gausman winning the Cy Young or Bo Bichette winning the MVP?
Oh, I like both. I think both are smart. I would take Gausman's Cy at this point, just because I believe in him so much as a pitcher. And what Bo's doing is fantastic, leading the AL in batting average. I think he's going to have some more steals along the way. He could go for 35, 38 home runs. Love what Bo is doing. But Gausman is so good. You take off one or two really weird innings he's had this year, and he's even better. And anytime you're beating what Roger Clemens did in Toronto, you are pitching out of your mind. Roger Clemens occupies such a strange space in Blue Jays history. I think a lot of people want to not acknowledge those years or have mentally pushed those aside. Those were ridiculous. Those were as good a pitching as we will ever see in Toronto, period. And if you are even being mentioned in the same breath as those, you're doing something right. Kevin Gausman is so consistent. Everybody knows when you go up to the plate against Kevin Gausman, he's going to throw you fastballs high, splitters low, and he still dominates people. He makes people look foolish in the major leagues. He is my favorite pitcher to watch right now in Major League Baseball. I don't care who wins or loses. I care about a quick game and getting home. But Kevin Gausman is such a joy to watch on the mound. And such an interesting demeanor, too. He is your laid-back, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo type guy, and a different dude when he's on the mound.